Whenever a game releases, I instantly have to research if it is worth the purchase because unfortunately a lot of titles now are poorly translated, they are censored, there are so many issues with titles that release nowadays. But now we have a brand new situation surrounding Like a Dragon Gaiden where it added ageist remark into the English version. I have a few different things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or via YouTube memberships. So I'm sure you already know that this game has been surrounded in controversy, mostly because of some of the voice actors they decided to choose for this project, which we will get into in a few minutes. But now we're actually finding out that a screenshot from the game, the man who erased his name, has revealed that the English version of the title contains a topical Western term. Now, I of course play video games for escapism, to escape reality, right? I want to play titles to experience things I haven't experienced before and to take my mind off of real issues going on in the world, and unfortunately, a lot of the ridiculous things that are going on in the world, most notably on social media like Twitter. But now, of course, there are localizers who just have to put digs into our video games, and this is unfortunately another situation where this has happened because the game was found to include the Western term ageist, which many are assuming was not in the original Japanese version. People are saying things like, I despise localizers, and they are screenshotting this. Now, obviously, there are titles where sometimes terms are going to slip through the cracks, and this is only one small issue that we know of right now, but that is also important because we don't know what else was changed in the game, what else localizers shoved into this title that could be vastly different from the original Japanese version. And of course, that all falls on the localizers. And over the past few months to about year, I've had to talk numerous times about localizers throwing out source material or just completely mistranslating things because they feel like it, intentionally changing things in translations. The most notable situation of this happening was back in 2022 when we found out that an interview revealed the Skies of Arcadia dialogue had been completely rewritten. The classic title Skies of Arcadia involved a translator who admitted they merely did a rough translation of the game before throwing out the rest of the Japanese text and ad-libbing as they saw fit, a pure example of why many hate localizers and demonstrating that the problem has existed for decades. And this is such a sad thing to hear because, of course, we want to hear localizers doing their very best job, right? Trying to capture the essence of the original version of the game, which in this case, in many cases that I talk about, happens to be Japanese. And he even admitted in this interview that there were many other people that worked on it that did not even know Japanese, which of course just sounds so absurd, but nowadays is less absurd simply because we have seen this happen time and time again. We have a lot of localizers basically doing whatever they want with games. And heading back to the Like a Dragon situation, people are furious over this. Many are suspecting this addition was made only to the English version of the game, as the term originates from the West and is merely another way in which Westerners try to control how others speak and act. Now, it is important to note that I have seen, and Niche Gamer has seen, people on Twitter post that this is not in the original Japanese version, but there isn't a direct screenshot side by side from somebody who is a known translator. But at the same time, it's really, really safe to assume that this is a localizer's doing. The comment suggested that there are more instances of odd localization choices as well. People are saying things like, oh god, look at how they slaughtered my boy. The funny thing is the context of that sub-story is that, if I recall correctly, he's just using it as an excuse. People are also saying things like, when will AI replace them? I hope it comes soon. Localizers deserve absolutely nothing. And of course, localizers are very important to the industry, but unfortunately, we see so many localizers that unfortunately believe that they are the most important part of the process when it comes to video games, right? They think that their job is so important, and then they can take all of these creative liberties, right? Because they think that they're going to save someone's emotions and that they're going to protect people from these naughty words that are going to bother them. So in turn, they add just absolutely ridiculous terms like this. And of course, I'm sure that you all remember that this game has already been mired in controversy, specifically because of the English dub. The English dub has gotten mercilessly criticized. The English dub voice actor for the main character Kiryu, the YouTuber Yang, has been mercilessly criticized after a sample of his performance in the game was uploaded online. And this has been a rough situation because there were a lot of people online mocking him over Mario. He had a take when Chris Pratt was initially announced to be voicing Mario, and that first trailer had came out, and he said, LOL, Chris Pratt can't voice act. Chris Pratt's Mario just sounds like Chris Pratt, but it's the same exact thing for Kiryu. It just sounds like his voice. It just sounds like Yang. And he went on a blocking spree on social media, blocking tons of people on his posts about the game. He was hiding responses. He just does not know how to take criticism. And while I think that anybody should be able to get voice acting jobs, and the best person in theory should be chosen for the job, I just don't believe that he was the best person. It reminds me of in Bayonetta 3 how they actually picked a YouTuber to voice Viola, and I did not like her voice acting. I didn't really like the character in general, but the voice acting was particularly bad, and the same here. For those not in the loop, YouTuber Yang replaced the former actor, a decision that initially upset many fans. Yeah, that is the problem, right? Is that they already had a very good established voice actor for this character, but instead they decided to kick him to the curb and pick Yang out of all people. I have nothing against him personally, but he is not a good voice actor, and it just sounds like him. It doesn't sound any different. He doesn't have a lot of voice acting skills that many other people do. So yeah, I mean, this game has already been mired in controversy, surrounded by criticism. And, I don't see that stopping anytime soon. People were saying things like, this possibly can't be real. This is a true form of torture. It's the actual English dub. I can't believe this. Yeah, in my opinion, I do not think that he is very good at this, and he is so full of himself. He was even saying, I earned to play this character. You didn't really earn anything. You just got hired because I guess they thought he was the best for the job, or they just wanted someone with a social media following, because again, they knew that they were going to face backlash over replacing the initial voice actor, so they said, well, we need as much positive attention as we can get. But it's unfortunate for them because they picked, in my opinion, and many other people's opinions, one of the worst people that was probably auditioning. But yes, now we are finding out that on top of all of the voice acting controversy, the English version of the game adds things like ageist remarks because localizers are running rampant, doing whatever they want. And unfortunately, this is another controversy that is surrounding this game. We'll have to see if any more pop up, if we do get any other confirmations about other terms like this being added to the English version, but only time will tell. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.